the Mercenary pack by L0rd0fWars, which is on version 0.1. The description reads as, all the outfits had been designed to blend in the game with vanilla assets. The mod author's aim was to create a cool looking design without going too far from the game's vibe. The Mercenary outfit designed to give the gunner leaders the fearsome look that they should have had in the first place. It comes with 3 variants, light, medium, and heavy. All could be upgraded through the workbench. You also could change the armor colors and customize it to your liking. All the armor pieces that fit on top of the Mercenary works as layered armor. You can also use it on top of the vanilla under armor. The lower rank gunners have their own outfits and gear too. And bear in mind that you could use vanilla layered armors with any of the above, so you have better customization options. Wastelander outfits have been added to NPC level lists, and you also could buy most of the outfits from the Commonwealth vendors. The Revel's old design has been updated with slightly better textures, rigged and proportional. Also, there are 3 more variants with the headgear and the scarf. The B90 and the Scavenger NCR armor have also been made updated. You can still craft them at the Armorsmith Workbench Extended. You will need that mod, by the way. How to get the outfits. All the outfits have been added to the NPC level list and the Commonwealth vendors. It's recommended that you buy the Mercenary outfit from the vendors. It has the ability to change its color, unlike the outfits the gunner leaders wear, which also only has a single color. Old outfits can be crafted or bought from vendors, except for the B90. You'll have to craft that one yourself. The only requirement for this mod is Armorsmith Workbench Extended. Oh, the mod author also gives permission for people to make their own textures for his mods, which personally I cannot wait for color variations because there's just so much here. It's incredible. Now, some of you may have followed my channel for a long time and you know of the L0rd0fWars through one of my videos where I was ranting about console gamers or console users lifting the mods from the Nexus and then uploading them willy-nilly to Bethesda.net, which caused a lot of issues, including breaking people's games, and there's a lot of fallout. It made L0rd0fWars leave for a long time there. And there's also some blame being thrown around. It's kind of funny, like even now there's still an unofficial copy of the L0rd0fWars Rebel armor on Bethesda.net, and someone's commenting, it doesn't work for me, and the funny thing is it requires Armorsmith Extended, and I don't even know if that's on Bethesda.net. The Mercenary pack by L0rd0fWars, which is on version 0.1. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, shall we? Right here we have the Wastelander armor, and this I feel is one of the standouts of the armor pack. One of the new standouts, I should say. This armor can be used in conjunction with the NCR Scavenger armor, which has been altered to give you the ability to put on the holsters for the guns on your hips and shoulders, as well as carrying the knife on your back. There's a lot of modular aspects to this mod, and it gives you so much freedom, including using the NCR Scavenger mask with the hooded version of this Wastelander armor. The textures are completely and utterly immaculate. The color, the dirt that is in the lower regions, you could see the stitching that's poorly done trying to keep this leather jacket together, even though it's in complete and utter tatters. Also, the L0rd0fWar went to the extra sort of mile to give you the option of wearing those sick ass gunner masks in conjunction with the hood. Well, it's actually a whole separate mask, but you get what I'm saying here. Now, this just is another great and immersive armor that I feel is just perfect for the world in and of itself. Once again, the L0rd0fWar has managed to add armors that change the game just ever so slightly, but in a realistic fashion that is completely vanilla friendly. These armors are just so well done, especially this one. It's one of my personal favorites. I love walking around the barren wasteland of Nuka World wearing this, with the eyes glowing slightly red at night, with this ominous feel. Honestly, when you look at it, it almost has that Sith sort of vibe going on. It's like something you'd expect a Dark Jedi to wear in Star Wars. Some people don't know what a Sith is, so I had to say Dark Jedi just in case. Overall, this is another fantastic piece. Next here we have the Gunner's Heavy Armor. This right now has the typical Gunner color, and it also has this orange color that I decided to go with. This armor is probably another fantastic piece. Yes, the mask is the same as the one on the Wastelander mask. And that really doesn't matter. If you don't like it, you don't have to wear it, because there are tons of options here. But we're focusing on this one right now. This armor right here screams badass. This armor screams, I will kill the shit out of you. I will kill you, bring you back to life, and kill you again. The color orange here that is on this armor is also fantastic. The way that the blood textures just play off of it is just completely brilliant. When you take out an enemy or you just are heavily bleeding from a fight, the way the blood splatters across this fantastically textured and meshed piece is just... I don't have any words to truly articulate how I feel towards it. Like, just look at the shoulder pads, the attention to detail and the weathering. As someone who's done a lot of painting on custom suits as far as Star Wars and many other movie props, I can do nothing but appreciate the level of articulation and attention to detail that is just right there blatantly in your face. This is a lower gunner armor that it goes great with the balaclava, I believe the term is. I don't know, I'm thinking about Italian foods. This one comes with an ammo pack that is totally modular. You can wear it with this, you can wear the ammo pack with a vault drum suit, but you cannot wear the ammo pack with the armor chest plate. Just something you have to live with. Is it game breaking? No. Is it deal breaking? No. It makes every armor completely and utterly unique to each character design, and specifically for every player there is definitely something here for you to enjoy. This piece I personally also feel is great. It has that sort of SWAT tactical Rainbow Six Siege meets the Punisher feel. This one right here is the Rebel version 1, I'd like to call it. This is what the Rebel armor looks like to me, and it feels like the armor has progressively changed. With each variant, it kind of tells a story. This one says to me that this is what the Rebel looked like before all hell broke loose in the Wasteland. You know, like your first couple of days out there, you're still optimistic about the world and how you could possibly make a change or survive before becoming completely and utterly lost in the dark miasma that is the world of Fallout. The lost hope, the complete and utter moral degradation over time can be reflected into this suit, as you will soon see when the transitions come. There are two versions of this. This is the Rebel 1, where it's the normal design, and then there's a second Rebel. It's like a cut-off sleeve version that exposed more of the shirt. As I said before, this is what the Rebel turns into later on. A completely different suit. Like, this outfit now tells a different story of how this person or the person who wore this Rebel suit has changed with the times, changed with the area. The clean look of the Rebel variant is no more with the Rebel original. And as I said, in my personal interpretation of what I feel like the armor say to me, it said that the variant was the beginning of the Rebel, and it gave way to the more grizzled and haggard, the more decayed and disheveled, hard-edged Rebel suit that originally was the first one made by the L0rd0fWars. This piece is one of his best and longest standing, one of his most recognizable, in fact. Often people send me inquiries as to wondering where the armor was that I was wearing, and this is it actually. So finally I can say that the L0rd0fWars is back to modding, and you will have access to all of his previously removed mods. On top of that, for console gamers that do not know, this will be supported on Xbox One according to L0rd0fWars last I spoke to him about this. Yeah, he's covering all bases in a very big move. He's actually sharing this mod on Bethesda.net despite all the bad blood that happened there, but I'm off the point. Now, taking a quick look at the backpack right here, you can see the new textures that he added to this mod pack, and they are great. Very lively, very open. You can see the weathering that has taken place on the backpack over time, being sun bleached, and just levels of dirt never washed out of it that are just pretty much a permanent mainstay of the bag in and of itself. Also, the texture work on the fabric I feel is very, very impressive. How he does this, I have no clue. This is a variant for the lower tier gunner outfits that you would see on lower tier gunners when you're traveling the Wasteland, paired off with one set of the light chest armor, the gunner gas mask, and a heavy gunner left arm. Now, the armor is fully capable of going on top of most armor sets that the mod author has created, but you will notice that even with the leg armor on this gunner's outfit, it won't show up. It'll be kind of invisible, and that's because the mod author purposely put it that way because of the high levels of clipping with, I believe, the pants and boots here. That's why you don't see the armor showing in the legs right there. Maybe that's off-putting for you, maybe not, but it is something I wanted to make note of so you knew beforehand and didn't get confused or think it was a crazy bug or it was broken. But other than that, with just the top half armor, this still looks pretty legit. Also, the textures in the boots, phenomenal. Simply brilliant. Everything here is presented amazingly when you really get a look at it. This armor is one of those armors that you could totally take some professional level looking screen caps of your Fallout 4 game. Also, keep in mind that this armor here, the chest armor, the shoulder armors, the leg armors, fully compatible with vanilla armors and layer pretty damn well. Also, a little funny trick or thing I found out is you can even layer this armor under a full heavy armor for the Gunner Mercenary suit, and it doubles your protection. So just in case you feel like being completely and utterly OP in the game, it's a little tip from me. This armor you may have seen in every Let's Play I've done, simply because it has been my longtime favorite go-to armor for the past year since it came out. The only other armor I've ever alternated with was the NCR normal armor. This is Lord of War's Scavenger armor, one of my personal all-time favorites of Fallout. And he has gone back in, tweaked some textures to make them look better, and even added alternate versions, like this longer coat version, which I think is pretty fucking slick. Also, on top of that, this gives you a fully modular version of the NCR Scavenger armor. Now, before you had to get the NCR Scavenger version 1, V2, or V3 to go in between whether you wanted to have the extra accessories like the hip guns and the shoulder guns and the knives. Now, you can simply click them on or off whenever you so choose. And there also seems to be some physics enabled for the handguns under the shoulders. They move independently of the character while running around, and they bounce up and down, so there's HTC physics. That's great. That is a nice little add-on, a total bonus. On top of that, these modular pieces, such as the guns, the hips, the hip gun, the back knife, can be added to other armors that Lord of Wars has made in this armor pack, leading to even more versatility and customization. One of my favorite armors has just gotten a whole lot better. That's all I can say about this, really. I mean, if you like what you see, this alone is download worthy in my personal opinion. Here we have the Reacher outfit. Now this one to me has a more aesthetic and normal sort of look to it, something that I think maybe the average Fallout player would wear. It reminds me of something Steve McQueen wore from Bullet, and that is a really old movie reference. If you don't know what it is, Google Bullet. It was like this cop guy who drove around a Boss 302 Mustang. I happen to have inherited one of those, but I don't drive it. That's another story. But here, this is a very accessible, a very normal outfit, a very stylized outfit. It's like something you would expect to see someone to wear pre-war in Fallout, before the bombs drop. It has that very cowboyish feel, that detective vibe. The textures on the jeans, once again, have proven to be quite impressive. There's even some stain washing there. There also seems to be bleach stains in the back of the leg. The leather, once again, is just lively. It has the right look, it has the right feel, and it's also just weathered, just enough Enough to say that the person wearing this has used it, has lived life in the wasteland, but they try to keep themselves clean and together, trying to hold on to some semblance of the world that was lost when the bombs dropped, holding on to their integrity, their style, and their way of life. And the world be damned. By the way, this also goes great with Ray-Ban sunglasses and the cigarettes mod. Just my personal opinion if you wonder where I got those from. Next, we have a longtime classic from the Lord of Wars, and this is the B90 armor. Now, there are 3 iterations, if I recall correctly. This one is the Institute. Now, the Institute version consists of a cleaner look, a much more polished piece. This armor reflects the refinery. It reflects the power and opulence of the Institute in the Commonwealth. The wires are clean, the fabric and the fibers in the shoulder area. The jetpack is streamlined. By the way, there are multiple versions of the jetpack, and they do work, just so you know. But I will admit that the jetpack animations are not there yet on the B90 armor. So if you're playing in third person, it will be immersion breaking to use the jetpack, because then the body goes to the static animation that you find in the game of, you know, the doll animation. It's hard to explain, but you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever played with the animations in Fallout or a Bethesda game and made a mistake, and then all of a sudden your character went into mannequin mode, that's kind of what it's like. I'm sure the Lord of Wars will finish this, since he's gotten back into modding, and it is a project he has long since been working on. Now, this one right here is the Wasteland edition. As I said before, there are 3 iterations: Institute, Wasteland, and the normal version. I find the Wasteland to be quite interesting in the color palette of choice, reflecting the color of rust and decay. The dystopian world is perfectly recreated on this set of armor. Also keep in mind, now I know you may think that the female body for the B90 armor looks a little strange, but the B90 armor was originally and initially made for a male character playthrough, and then the Lord of Wars took the extra time to modify it to fit the CBBE body or a female body. Will he take it any further remains to be seen. Personally, I don't have a problem with it, but if you're one of those people that prefers to have the hyper-feminized female bodies with giant boobs and asses, then this armor may not be for you. But if you're perfectly fine with a stronger female build for basically war and a rough life in the Commonwealth, this won't bother you one shred. Also, there are 2 armor iterations for the helmet, a closed off helmet piece and an open one that I'm featuring right here. Whichever one floats your fancy, both are unique and interesting in their own way. I'm beginning to lean more towards the open armor face shell, ironically enough when I originally liked the closed off face shell. I will admit that I missed maybe 1 or 2 armor aspects simply because I had trouble finding them. Please forgive me, but you are welcome to search for them yourself or hunt them down in the Commonwealth. I figured I kept people and the Lord of Wars waiting long enough for this video. I know it is extremely long, but this is a very, very extensive and huge mod, and still I have not covered all the bases here. There's plenty of combinations for you to choose and find yourself that suit your aesthetic needs or desires in your modded playthrough of Fallout. Therefore, I have not robbed you of anything. I have left you open to the possibility of discovering things that I myself have missed, and you will be able to go, wow, how the hell did he miss something this amazing? And that is the only flaw of this mod. There's so much here that it is easy to miss something. There's easy to not come across something, and later on you find it and it's like this little gem that you're like, whoa, this is great. How did I not find this before? That's how I felt while playing this mod for the past 2 weeks